Good morning. It's Monday. Good morning, it's Monday. Monday, Monday. Can't trust that day. Monday, Monday. Okay. Or is it just another manic Monday? Whoa, I don't want that. Go back. I want that. Hello, how's everybody doing today? It is Monday, the day of the Muns. Hi, Jan Marie. I forgot this light. I don't think, oh, it is working. I'll use it. I'll use it. Anybody else here? Is it just me and Jan Marie? Oh, and Ellen. Good morning, Ellen. And Julie. Hello, all. How are things in, hold on, I'm going to get it right this time, Nebraska? Are things good? No tornadoes? Everybody good from tornadoes? That was frightening looking. And good morning, Melinda and Deanna and Sonia. All I've done all weekend is sleep. And then yesterday I got to eat. That was exciting. Hi, Susan. Hello. How's everything on the East Coast? Intact? Good morning, Doreen and Ruth Ann. Julie says it's great in Nebraska. It's going to be 76. Probably the same here, about 76. Hi, Penny. Did I miss somebody? No, I did not. Well, 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 here we are. It's just about time to get started. I decided, because I have so much to catch up on, that I'm only going to do one shameless plug today. And maybe for the whole week, I don't know. But it's time for the shameless plugging. Here it is. Here's the first shameless plugging. It's the website, creatorofcuteness.com. It's where I put everything that I make and have made and then sell. And I sell them on the website. Well, that's not totally true because I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to start selling in Handmade Holidays. And then probably here, which I don't like to sell things here, but I think I'm going to. Because in the next couple of weeks, I plan on putting together some grab bags with junk and stuff from my craft room. And when I say junk and stuff, it's not just junk and stuff, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right in front of me, I have 6 different types of colored pencils that I never use. So those are going to be part of the grab bags. There's just so much. There's so much that I really have to start paring down. So I'll be making grab bags. Ellen says they're going to reach 80 degrees where she is, and there's really bad storms. That's like a rain and tornado storm, right? That's scary stuff. Hi, Carmen. And Ellen. I already said hi to Ellen. And Shari. Shari, I saw a picture of you and your handsome husband in his handsome garb. He's handsome. Hi, Lita. Carmen says, accept girlfriends see first. Carmen, you want stuff? Come on over. A couple of years ago, I went over to my friend Judith's house, and she let me take whatever I wanted. And that's how I feel. Do you want stuff? Come over. Take it. Hi, Rebecca. Hola, chica. Hi, Michelle. All right, so have I said this? this is the website, creatorofcuteness.com. It's where you can get my books, my collage elements, my classes, my burnishing sticks, my watercolors that are handmade watercolors. There's a lot of cool stuff there. So bookmark this page, and why don't you go over and take a look? Because there's a bunch of stuff in the cards section. There's a bunch of stuff in the journaling section, and not everybody looks there. So go look. Go look. Hi, Juanita and Angie and Bonnie. Shari, you're cute. You're cute, Shari. I mean, you're cute too. But a man in a uniform, oof. Oof. Okay. Here we are. Let's just go for it. Our prompts over the weekend, well, I wasn't here on the 6th because I was sick. I wasn't here to do mandala or rainbows because that was the weekend. So today we are at scallops or scallops. Scallops or scallops. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going to cross it off because it's the 9th. And that's what we're doing. Scallops. And then the only thing I'm shamelessly plugging is the empty page class. Hi, Z and Veronica. The empty page class is what I'm shamelessly plugging this week because we have our empty page class on Saturday. So you'll get traceable art from me every other month, and you'll learn about mark making tools and mediums, as well as exploring lettering, quotes, stencils, and more. This month, we're going to be focusing on a Stabilo all pencil and like water-soluble crayons or oil pastels or whatever you have that are waxy and fun to use, you know. You supply your own journal and tools to create because I can't be there with you to share my tools with you. And then I'll supply the rest. The classes are live and then also recorded, and you sign up for 3 months at a time. So we have had, well, I can't write on that with that. We have had our January class. We have had our March class. That's this week. So there are 3 in this session. So January, March, and May. And then for the next session, you'll get July, September, and November. It's $40 for the 3 classes. So if you want to take all 6, you got to have a little bake sale and get $40 and sign up for the next one, you know. Or sell your supplies because I have so many. I have decided they've got to go. So this is what we have done before in the previous class. That was our first page that we did, our kind of let's get to know how I journal in a journal pages. Then we did this one, and everybody's is different. So some people traced this and just did it on this side. I did this side and then continued, and I added color, but not everybody did add color. I also changed right here and added these 2 towers, and not everybody did. And that's totally fun. And that's what makes it cool, is that everybody does different stuff. And then you had this page as homework, and this page turned into this page. I had these 3. Oh, and then I drew a flower here. So that's totally different than that. And then I added more over here. So it's pretty fun to see what everybody's doing. Hi, Patty and Terry and Valerie. Who did I miss? And Donna. Hi, Donna. And Lynn and Grandma Sandy. Anyway. So you get art like this, and I teach you how to trace them onto your pages, so you can do exactly what I do, or you don't have to. So now I added this page just because I was somewhere where I didn't have any other journal. We're going to use our circles next and our new art. So that's what's coming down the pike on Saturday. So that is the empty page class, right? What's this? Oh, this is a page I tore out of my journal because I had to tear it out to make it work. Right. This got torn out of my journal. Look at the edge. I've never torn a page out of a journal before, but I had to. Hi, Diane and Shirley and Diana. Diana, do you have a tardy slip? Because she's barely awake. She says, I am barely up with the last class in empty page, and here we go again. Yeah, here we go again. And guess what's coming next? The new session of Journal Playday is about ready to launch today. So we will have our 21st session of our Journal Playday. I stopped calling them quarters because everybody, well, not everybody, my friend Joy was telling me that didn't make any sense. So this is Journal Playday 21st quarter. Well, I still called it a quarter, but it is a... Palma, you needed a tardy slip also? Diana, if you don't have a tardy slip, you need to get your butt up and go to the principal's office right now. Well, not the principal's office, just go to the office. Because Tracy, who works in the office, she's the nicest person. She'll give you a tardy slip. All right, so in Journal Playday, we do kind of the same thing. Where's my journal? Hang on, I'll show you. This is the journal we made for for March. It's been a month, I'll tell you what. Oh, Jewel is tardy also. Jewel, go get a tardy slip. I'm going to make you guys tardy slips. In fact, I'm going to write that down. I got to make tardy slips. That'd be so cute. You guys could all put tardy slips in your books. That's on my list today. I'm going to make tardy slips. Anyway, we make a new simple journal each month, and this is the one that we did this month with envelopes. This was an envelope book. And so the way Journal Playday works is you get all this artwork from me, all this, all this, all this. I don't know what I'm doing yet for April, but I think it's going to be rabbits and butterflies. I don't know. Or flowers, maybe rabbits and flowers. But every month the journal is different. And this year I've decided to do different size journals. I was doing them really big for a long time, but I kind of like the smaller ones. And then we play in our journal if we have time, because guess what? I don't have time this month to play in my journal because I am resting and getting well. But you get artwork from me for Journal Playday. You get background papers from me for Journal Playday. And you make a new simple journal each month. You get 1 to 3 pieces of new art from me each month to use in your journal. And we do a page or two. And sometimes we learn a new trick. And it's $30 for the 3 months. So that makes it what? Let's see. That's really hard to figure. $10 a piece. Yeah, this is not on the website yet because I just did it. Carol says, I've been in class, but I didn't say hi. Do I need a tardy slip? Yes. Get a tardy slip. Wait, Z made bail? Z, are you in jail? Because I'm going to love that story. I think Z was in jail. I was in the hospital, so I don't know. All right, we'll talk about that later. Let's talk about this first. So when we last met, we did the chevron page, and this was our chevron card. Okay. Then we did a diamond page, and this was our diamond card. And then we did not together because I was recuperating from life. This was our, what was this page? Oh, stars. This was our stars page. Can you see all the stars? There are glittery stars and white stars. And I have succeeded in continuing to put my little doodles into my color charts. For those of you guys that are new, because I think there's a bunch of newbies here today, you can find our prompts in our files section. It's the very first one, I believe, in the files section. This is our list of prompts. And then Rebecca Swayze, who is right here in front of me right now, created all these amazing color palettes for us to use. And then an entire page of blank color palettes, which are super fun. Super fun. So that's what Rebecca did for us. We are using the Color Meditation Deck by Lisa Solomon as our guide this month. So what we do is we open this box. I do. You can buy your own if you want. And I'm going to choose Scallops, which is this one. There is no Scallops. So what I've done is I've picked cards that kind of go with her theme, because Rebecca decided... You can't hear me? I am up as loud as I can go, Palma. So I've decided if Rebecca says scallops, I'm going to look for something that I can do with scallops. So this is the closest one to scallops. This is a great tool if you're just needing inspiration. Okay, so I used this one, which is an abstract card. But I love it because it's kind of like the galaxies that I paint. What is the big journal class called? I don't know. Which one you're talking about? There's the empty page, which we play in our journal, and we doodle in our journal, Jan Marie. And then there is Journal Play Day, where we make a journal. And we also play in it, but we play in it in a different way. Okay, so I did that the day that I was coming out of the hospital. We'll talk about the hospital momentarily. And this was mandala. And I wasn't real happy with it until I see it now in the light. And I kind of do like it. I wasn't real happy with the white. I also used silver. A silver, whatchamacallit? Well, I can't find my silver, but I used the silver Sparkle Pop pen. And it was fun. And I used the loop-de-loops, which she called coils. And then I used plus signs. So my plus signs are here in the turquoise. And the coils are all the way around the mandala. Yeah, the empty page class. Is that what you mean? Jan Marie, yeah, empty page class. If you want questions answered, just ask me. I wrote mandala over here, and my cards slip into here. Then we are to rainbow, which is always my favorite one. And these were the cards I think Rebecca was using yesterday. Honestly, I slept most of the day, so I could not watch. I did fast forward it and watch it quickly towards the end of the day and create my page. I still have to make my pocket. I have my color palette, which isn't really rainbow, but, you know, it's kind of. And here's my rainbows. I love, love, love how I did the lettering there with splotches of watercolor, just ovally circle things. So let's cut this down, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Probably not a good idea to cut it with the scissors, because then it'll be crooked. This is my pocket. Or maybe we should do a pocket here. No. I'm going on the side. Maybe today we'll do one on the bottom. All right, we're going to cut this part. All right, we did this in one of our other projects a while ago, where we took a piece of packing tape from my packing tape gun. This is just, you know, well, I use duct tape. It's easy start packing tape, but anything that you have in the way of clear tape that you package up stuff with is perfect. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to put this card on top of it. I hope it's straight. May not be. And what I've already done was I've punched a bunch of circles in rainbowy kind of colors. I have a few more to punch because we want this turquoisey teal color. You could do whatever you wanted on this packing tape. The video that we watched that somebody did this, she, whoops, not that one. She used natural flowers in this. Oh, you did your pocket and your card keeps getting stuck? That's because you put glue where it doesn't belong. You got to be really careful with your glue, Angie. I'm going to put a couple of black ones in there and a couple of these light green. And I find this works best with double-sided paper. Yeah, be really careful with your glue on your pockets, Ange. Okay, I think I have plenty to work with. So now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to place super carefully. Not really. I could go one by one if I wanted to be, you know, that person. Oh. So do you see what's happening? They're all starting to stick. But whatever you want to put on your packing tape is good. You know. So like I said, the lady who did the video that we all watched, well, I don't know if we all watched it, but I watched it. She did real flowers. And you don't want to touch your tape because, you know, it gets not sticky once you touch it. Okay, almost done. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Do a couple more right here at the bottom. I think I've used most all the colors. I have kind of a rainbow going. A couple at the top. All right, I'm good. These are going in the trash. And then we're just going to take another piece of packing tape and ever so carefully, not really, we're going to place it on top. And rub, rub, rub. right? Isn't it cute? And I like to kind of follow along and not have it straight. I'm just following my dots. But I've punched out hearts now and done this. I've done it in several places. I really, really, really like this technique. So thank you, lady, whoever you were, that shared the video with your long, pointy fingernails, and she lit a candle, and I don't understand that kind of stuff, but, you know, just get it done. We don't need all the pomp and circumstance, do we? It's just journaling after all. But I think she was like a natural person because she did the natural flowers. So we'll give her that. Okay. Throw this away. Have you seen the hammered flower art? I have. Have you tried it? It didn't work for me. All right, so this is going to go, so cute, isn't it? Right there. That's my pocket. Okay, Ange, watch this. Peggy Sue says, can I use graphite aquarelle pencil? You can. I don't like it. It's not my favorite. It doesn't do what I want it to do, but you can. Peggy Sue, your choice. Glue. Do you see the very thin line I'm doing, Angie? Really super thin on the very edge. I got a little too much glue right there. And then I'm just going to run my finger along the edge. Here and here. And here. Isn't that so cute? It just looks like they're floating there. And then this, nope. And then these, because I have 2 rainbow pages, are going to get put in here. I usually don't put these in until my glue is dry. That's the other key, Angie. Don't put too much glue and wait till your glue's dry before you put your cards in. And then we need this here. So I'll put it right like that. Okay. Isn't it cute? Isn't that so cute though with the little polka dotties? And like I said, it looks really cute with, like, if you do little tiny hearts or stars or confetti. So cute. Look how cute it looks against just that solid rainbow. It's just darling. All right, so that is catching up for when I was at the hospital. And now we are here today. So let's find a scallop for our border. Oh wait, I need colors. I think I'm going with my own. No, I kind of like these colors today. Let's use these fruity tooty kind of colors. Purple, a light orange, and a light green. I think there's glue on my favorite scissors. Doesn't look like it. They're kind of sticky though. So let me go find a quick piece of paper for a scallop, because we need a scalloped pocket. I could either use this light green. Have I done purple in here? Yes. So either orange or light green. I'll be right back. like all three of these, so we'll see. Tina, did you get a tardy slip? Guess what? I'm going to make tardy slips, so you'll be able to get one. That one's pretty darn close. This is too light, too yellow. So we're going with this one. And we're going to cut a scallop pocket. And we're going to go across the bottom. And I'm thinking I might use this. Does it have all these colors in it? It pretty much does. I kind of like that, don't you? I do. Yes, I do. Angie's going to be late tomorrow just so she can get a cute tardy slip. I'm making them. Don't count on it today because today is catch-up day. Look at this cute back of this paper. Anyway, let me tell you what happened. So for the last week, I have had a pain in my stomach, a pain in my esophagus. I couldn't eat anymore. You know, really, I should just be put out to pasture. That's how much is wrong with me recently. And I've never been that person that's just sick all the time, but guess what? Right now I am. So this is my third ER visit in the last couple of months. And I sat there for 6 hours in the ER, in our local ER, because they were so busy. They took blood, they took an EKG, they did everything. They did everything they were supposed to do. Okay, that is really cute. We're definitely using that. And we sat there, my husband and I sat there, and he read a book, and I couldn't even read because I was doubled over. I did not bring a journal. I had not journaled in 3 days. I had not done any art in 3 days. And they finally got me a room. They said the doctor will be right in, and he was. Like in minutes, he was in. And he asked me my symptoms again. I told him all the way back to September when I had pericarditis, and I said maybe it has something to do with that. And he's like, no, I don't think so. He said, I know what it is. He said this happens every night. We get 1 or 2 ambulances in the middle of the night, and people come in with this exact same thing. And he asked me, where does it hurt? He asked me what it feels like, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. And so I told him, and he's like, ha, ha, ha. He looked like Adam Levine from Maroon 5. I always look at my doctors as a movie star or a rock star. And he did. He looked like Adam Levine from Maroon 5. And he goes, GERD. I said, excuse me? He said, you have GERD. And I'm like, what? He goes, I'm going to give you a Pepsid and Tums and send you home. I swear to you guys, it was a blockage in my breastbone right in between your 2 breasts and up to my throat. And my stomach was distended and hard. My blood pressure was 179/99. I thought I was dying, truly. Truly, I thought I was dying. But no, I was not. It was stress. And as Carmen just so kindly posted there, stress will kill you. And it will. Probably. I will probably be dead from stress within a year. So it was nice to know you guys. But I am learning to manage it now. That was on Friday. I was home. No, that was Thursday. I was home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I have changed my whole diet. What do you mean, why is stomach? What does stomach have to do with GERD? It's all about what you eat. It's an acid reflux, you know? It's acid reflux, basically, in a very large way. In a very disgusting, horrible way that I don't want anybody to ever deal with. So, years ago, my brother-in-law and I, on the same day, we both had these terrible stomach aches, and we both thought we were dying. And he is a pretty strong guy, you know, he can handle anything. So he went to the hospital where he lived, and I went to the hospital where I lived, and they gave us, like, Metamucil or Tums or that pink stuff, Pepto-Bismol, and they sent us home. And they said it was just a gastrointestinal thing from something we ate. And I was so embarrassed. So embarrassed. And this time, I wasn't embarrassed. I was angry. And I cussed. And the doctor laughed. I'm like, shit. What do you mean, GERD? And he laughed. He said, we get 2 ambulances a night with people with this same kind of thing, and it turns out to just be GERD. So, I have taken out Coke. If anybody wants my Coke, I just bought a whole case. I bought a whole case of those little mini Cokes because I have become obsessed with Coke. No alcohol. I can't have citrus. I mean, yes, there is a pill. Yes, I could take a pill. But I definitely want to curb what I eat. So, no fried foods. No chips, no French fries. That's about all I eat that's fried. You're supposed to eat like beans and sprouts and lettuce. No condiments, which is weird to me. So, like, you can't have, you can't make a sandwich and have, what do you call it? Mustard or mayo, which is just so weird to me, but okay. So he gave me this bottle that's this big of pills. Well, I'm going to take it for a day or two just to get my system back in order. I swear there's 150 pills in this jar that he gave me. And my husband's like, can I have that jar when you're done? Because we are both container hoarders, he and I. My husband and I love containers. And I'm like, not if I can have it first. No, I told him he could have it. So anyway, I'm learning what to do now because I do not want to be on that medicine forever. I have been on an acid reflux medicine for the last couple years because I did have problems with acid reflux, and I take that every day. But when I was in the hospital for my headache issue a week before this, or 2 weeks before this, they told me I can't take whatever they gave me for my head with it, whatever I just said it was. What did I say it was? I don't know. Acid reflux medicine. So I stopped taking the acid reflux medicine, and the doctor's like, well, that's what it is. You did it to yourself. I'm like, but they told me I couldn't take the acid reflux medicine. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? It's so confusing. I don't want to be on medicines. Medicines are just, I mean, some of them saved my life, like my allergy medicines. I'll give you that much. But some of the rest of these are just, and my blood pressure medicine, I definitely need that. But the rest of these are just dumb. So I'm going to figure out how to live my life without taking all these medicines. I will. I live in a town called Grass Valley. Well, I don't live there, but I live near there. And it's Hippieville. You know? There's got to be some hippie doctors that can tell me what tea to drink or what herbal thing to drink. And funny, I went to the hospital on Thursday, and that was supposed to be my first therapy day with a therapist for my brain, because I know that's the bigger problem. The problem is that I'm just stressed to the max. Now with my husband's uncle passing away, and we are in charge of all his stuff, it's more than I can take. More than my little brain can take. What is that? Somebody says Omeprazole? Omeprazole? It's just every day there's something else, you know, that is harder than the day before. And I thought it would be fun to be retired, basically, and do this fun stuff with you guys, you know? So that's what I did. I retired from Ben Franklin and decided to do this fun stuff with you guys. And I was going to travel, and we were going to buy a little trailer, and we were going to have fun. And then all hell broke loose. And none of that is happening now. Everything is just messed up. Oh, that's a GERD medicine. Thank you, Carmen. My friend Karen has GERD, so I'm going to talk to her about it. She's the one that told me to make sure I took my acid reflux medicine, because you don't want to get GERD. Well, now that I've had it, I will tell you, it was pretty much worse than having a baby. I never felt anything like that. Well, maybe since having a baby, I haven't felt anything like that, but it is nothing I want to feel again. Oh, and while I was in the hospital, for some reason, they decided to do a urine test, and they told me, "Are you in the process of having a UTI?" And I said, "No, I haven't had a UTI in 2.5 years." And they said, "Well, you're having one now." I said, "What? Doesn't even feel like it." So, yay, all of that, all at once. Just too much on my little brain. Sorry to share all that with you guys, but I just wanted you to know why I was not here on Friday. That's why. All of that baloney that I just told you is why I was not here on Friday. Pat says, getting old ain't for wimps. That is a true statement, Pat. Oops. I didn't really know what I was doing today. I just started doing it. So there. There's my scallops. Okay, so I want to do, I think we'll use the same colors we just used. This one and this one. This one and this one. And there should be a lighter purple. There it is. Okay, so I have a light and a dark and a light and a dark and a light and a dark. And here's what I want to do. I don't think I have enough room. Do I have more room if I go this way? Or is that an optical illusion? Let's measure it, shall we? Here I have 4 inches. If I go side to side, I have 5.5 inches. But it gets narrow in here. S-C-A, how do we spell scallops? S-C-A-L-L-O-P-S, right? Maybe we'll do it in 3 lines like that. Carol says, I will tell you, citrus acid is in everything. Oh, God. That looks like a stage, Shari says, and she wants to see puppets pop out of it. Not on my book. You're not going to see puppets. Okay. So we're going to do 3 lines. Hold on. I'm going to do it this way. I think I'm going to do... Naomi says, ever since having my child 6 years ago, oh, you sweet little baby girl, my body is falling apart. Oh, yeah. Just wait. Come back and talk to me in a couple of years. It gets much better. I passed on all of my female body issues to my daughters, who both want to have babies right now, and it's so hard. Okay. I have never done this, so it'll be a first. Well, I didn't measure very well, but possibly, Angie, that's a good possibility. I do live in Grass Valley, you know. I don't, but I do. Okay. Here comes the fun lettering portion. I don't even care that my lines aren't straight. We watched a movie last night that I thought was going to be more for my husband than me, because he likes war movies. Wait, should I do... I think I'll do all purple, then all green, then all orange. Or no, all orange, then all green. It was called The War Machine. Has anybody heard of it? Let me say this. Don't watch it. It was very stressful to watch. I thought it was just going to be guys at war, and I would fall asleep. Well, then it got interesting to me. I had to stay awake, and then it was very frightening, and then it was stressful, and it wasn't all about war. Carmen says, neuropath or a functional doctor, because Western medicine just throws medication at symptoms. Right. Wait, what did Carmen say about the UTI? If you're having a UTI and don't know it, I wonder if that's causing some of the stress in your body. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Don't worry, this lettering is not going to stay this boring. I promise. Angie says they don't call it Grass Valley for nothing. That is a true fact. Shirley says it was not a great movie. It did go to craziness. It did go to craziness, right? I want to erase these lines because they're going to show through my orange. And that's going to make me really sad. I can still see them when they're light. My husband loves war movies, Shirley. You know that. And I'm like, okay, I'll take one for the team. You can watch a war movie. Oh my God. What an insane movie. I'm just using felt tip pens, by the way, right now. These are Tombow Twin Tones. But I also have these click art pens that I like to use. I'm not using those today, but they click open, and then when you click them shut, there's a little door that opens and closes here that keeps your pen from drying out. I'm going to erase these lines also because they're very dark. Anyway, thank you guys so much for all of your suggestions. They will be taken in. Well, I honestly think I need a therapist. That's number one. My husband says we're going to a psychiatrist. I'm like, no, we're not. We're just going to talk to somebody, honey. Funny. He thinks it's a psychiatrist. I'll let him think that. I'm like, those people give you medicine. We don't need medicine. We just need somebody to talk things through. Because we are both going through the same thing. So I'm like, couples counseling. He's feeling stuff with his mom more than me. Tomorrow is my mother-in-law's doctor's appointment where we take her to her doctor and give her a competency test. It's getting really bad. On the drive down to Los Angeles last week, she called me Cindy twice. That's my husband's girlfriend from high school. I've been part of this family for 38 years. 39 coming up March 17th. But yeah, she called me Cindy. She was very, very confused. And I know her brother just passed away and we got to give her grace for that. But it's been coming. And I think I told you guys that my sister-in-law and I figured out what is all about my mother-in-law. Have you seen those commercials for Progressive, and they call it passive progressive? That's my mother-in-law. She's passive aggressive. That's why it's really hard to deal with her. But now she's passive aggressive and forgetful and just mean. So, not fun. Look, we have scallops. I told you there'd be cute lettering. Right? And you didn't think there was going to be anything cute except the scallops. How dare you guys think that I'm boring? Cute. And we're not done. Yeah, Valerie. Amen, sister. Preaching to my choir. Yeah, Diana, at the last, as my mom was getting really, like, withering into herself with her dementia, and she was at a memory care facility that I went to every day to be with her. There was a man there that came in new the last 2 weeks of my mom's life, and he would throw his head against the wall. He would scream. He would throw chairs. And every day I kept saying, don't you think that guy needs to go somewhere else? So I don't know if he finally did or not. But yeah, he was mean, a mean drunk. He was a mean dementia guy. And there was another lady there the whole time my mom was there that would just walk around and say, what time does the bus come? I have to get home. What time does the bus come? I have to get home. It was really sad. She was very sad. I forget her name. But my mom was she just had a smile for everybody and got very quiet. After my dad died, though, right after my dad died, she did say she wanted to go home. And she used to say, I have 2 kids at the bus stop and they're waiting for me. I have to go pick them up. And I would say, oh, Brent's picking them up. It's okay. They have a ride home. You just play into it. You know? It's sad. I miss my mom a lot. Okay, what shall we do next? Carol says, we had to do it with Bill's mom. His siblings didn't want to until one tried to take care of her. Yeah, that's what happened to me. Carmen says, I think it just amplifies your personality. LOL, my step monster is a mean dementia person, but that is just amplified of who she was to the core. Yeah, agree. Did you think I was done after I put these scallops on? Who do you think I am? No way, Jose. No way. Yeah, Diane, I'm so sorry. I know you miss your honey bunny. Just got to remember the good times, right? And you were such a good wife for so long. And that's the important thing to remember. And he loved you. I don't know what I'm doing here. Put a little curly there. Diana's husband passed, was it a year ago, Diana, or 2? I'm so sorry, I have a bad memory. I can barely remember what day it is. So don't hate me. Okay, well, I do kind of love these scallops now. Yeah, I hear poor Brent every day from his mom. Poor Brent. Poor Brent. He has so much to do. Poor Brent. I hear that all the time. Terry. That is a true thing, Diana. Diana says there's nothing better than the love of a good man. Yeah, so on March 17th, it will be our 39th anniversary of when we met. Brent and I. We met at a bar called Lady Jane's, the old-fashioned way, with alcohol and dancing, you know. He came up and asked me to dance, and I said, oh, hell yeah, because he was so cute. Oh my gosh, he was skinny and cute and long hair, and I think he even had a button-down shirt, like he was dressed nicely. And it was our local tiny bar in Montrose where we used to live, which is now apartment buildings because we went back by there this weekend when we were in Los Angeles. So sad it's gone. But it was called Lady Jane's, and there was a pool room down below, and I used to go with my girlfriend Julie, and we used to go to dance. And we had fake names that we gave the guys, because this was back in the early 80s, late 70s, I think. And things were not the same as they are now. Of course, I wouldn't go to a bar now if you paid me. And I would tell my children not to go to a bar to meet anybody anymore. But anyway, he asked me to dance, and so I danced, and we danced, and we danced. He was not the best dancer. He had no rhythm, but it did not matter because he was super cute. Super cute. And then we sat at a table with his cousin and his best friend and my best friend, and we sat and chatted for a while. And then he goes, how old are you? And I said 30. And he said, there's no possible way. He goes, I think you're 24 or whatever it was, 25. And I said, how old are you? And he said 25. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right. And I'm like, oh God, this guy's a baby. He's 25. So he asked to see my driver's license because he did not believe me that I was 30. I think I was 29 actually, because I was 30 when we got married and I had a baby. Anyhow. Carol says, Bill and I met in a bar also. A guy can say, can I buy you a drink? And I said, no. Bill said, can I buy you a drink? And I said, yes. That's so cute. And it's been 46 years. That's really cute. Anyway. Yeah, we went out. We went out the next day on a date. That next morning, he took me to breakfast. He went out with his buddies that night, and the next morning, he called and asked if I wanted to meet them for breakfast. And, you know, when you used to go to bars, if you know, it was a long night, and you stayed up really late, and you were ready for breakfast at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, I got up, got dressed, and met him and all his boyfriends for breakfast. And that was it. We were together forever after that. He moved into my condo that I had, and we sold that condo within a month, bought a house, got married within 6 months, got pregnant within 6 months and 5 minutes. And the rest is history. And some days I want to kill him. But some days I love him to pieces. Isn't that how it goes? Most days I love him to pieces. We'll never be married as long as my mom and dad were. They were married 75 years. Would have been their 77th when my mom passed, I think is what it was. Sad. Okay, well, I kind of love this. Shirley says, those were the days. Yes, they were, girlfriend. Ah, the 70s and the 80s. Okay, we're going to add some weird colors in here. Because I can't stand this white background. So I'm going to pick up some of these colors that are over here a little bit. Jewel says, please pray for my oldest granddaughter. She miscarried and is having a very rough time. I'm trying to not cry. I'm so sorry, Jewel. We will definitely pray for her. I'm so sorry that happened. I know somebody that happened to also, and they're having a very, very rough time. So I get it. Beth Hall, by tomorrow I will have tardy slips, and you're going to have to get a tardy slip and get it from the office and fill it out. What other colors are on this one? I think a bright pink is all I want. Anyway, what? Tina says, I had to do a face plant in Santa Cruz Beach to find my love. Whatever that means, I think it's the best story yet. Let me tell you how my mom and dad met. My mom was the champion Southern California Women's Bowling League bowler. And my dad was at La Cienega Lanes, which was the bowling alley. He was the pin boy. And so they met, even though they went to the same high school, they didn't really know each other from high school. So I like to say that my dad was right up my mom's alley. Get it? He was right up her alley. Get it? I think that's just the cutest. Okay, I had fun doing this page. It's not my favorite when I finished it, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So I don't even care. Diana says, on a lighter note, I fell out of bed and couldn't get up off the floor because of my surgery and had to call the firemen to come pick me up. Well, Diana, I'm sorry that happened to you. You're okay, right? Because you said on a lighter note, so I don't need to be worried. But do tell, were they cute? Because when my fireman came, the cutest one was the girl. Funny. The things that make us giggle. I hope they were cute. Girls or boys. Like 4 boys and 1 girl, but the girl was really cute. And she sat with me and talked with me, so. Almost done. I'm just junking it up a little bit more. Oops. My pen did not like that. Right there. I have used one of my Panda Fly pens, my white pens here, almost all the way up. And I've had it, I don't know, like 2 months. But for $6 for a couple of them, it's still worth it. Okay, we'll do some scallops here. So I get to call my husband's uncle's fire insurance, which is called California Fair Plan for any of those of you that live in California, because we just found out that he had this insurance when we went through all his bills yesterday, and it was canceled because he passed away, and hopefully they understand. Carol says, my parents met on a double date. They were different people. They were with different people and then went together and let the other two by themselves. That's so cute. Diana, you needed stitches? Oh, that's not lighthearted, Sugar Plum. Diana says, I am fine. They were not cute. I also cut my finger and was bleeding all over the place. Oh my God. Poor sweet baby. Okay, well, none of this is my favorite of what I've done. I do love this page, however. I do kind of love this page. I love this page. No. Definitely no. I love this page. I love this page. I love this page. Oh, I really like that one. Okay. So I can keep this open. Let's see what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is circles. I love circles. Let's see what I have for circles. Oh, I have this one for circles. I think that's it. Let's see if there's any more good cards for circles. And we'll be done for the day. Wait, that one's kind of circles. Nah. Those are ovals. Those are moon phase circles. Those are balloons. That's about it. No other circles. Ooh, look at that circle page. Okay, we'll keep those two out. I'm going to run out, I bet. I bet there's going to be days where I don't have a card that matches. All right, well, I will take a picture of this, even though it's not my favorite page that I've done. But I am appreciative that you guys were here, and I hope that I didn't give you too much cause for disturbance with all of my illnesses and stuff that I was talking about. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Oh, I forgot to send the link out. You guys, I'm going to do it now. And that's just going to be, everybody's going to be mad at me. I'm going to go make eggs and toast, I think. All right. Have a really good day, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you so much. And be good humans, okay? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, Michelle.